Treasure Valley kids have been home from school since March 14th, a lot longer than the parents probably, and likely, unless you attend Nampa Christian, you won't be going back at all this year. It's a long time left to figure out how to fill the day at home, and many have likely exhausted any and all ideas on how to keep busy. But before you jump to the conclusion of kids these days, all they do is fill their faces with electronics, it's not true. Especially for one little Boise girl who's figured out a way, a creative way that is, to show that staying at home doesn't mean you have to go it alone. From the front, it looks like any other Boise bench house. But one look in the back, you can see the Holladay home is filled with 4 active and outgoing little girls. There's 4-year-old Ellie, 6-year-old twins Nora and Claire. Did I mention Ellie? Then there's older sister Hattie.
I'm doing the knit stitch.
Sitting almost still and almost by herself. And who, at the age of 8, is just 3 days in.
Yep, 3 days in.
On learning how to knit.
At first, I was having a hard time and it kept falling off. Then Shannon showed me how to do it.
Shannon.
I like those colors mixed in.
Thank you.
Is why Hattie isn't exactly by herself.
She started out wanting to make a sweater, and I said, let's start with a scarf.
She started just last weekend when Hattie had an idea.
Oh, she just went into our kitchen and grabbed some wooden skewers out of our drawer, and I asked her what she was doing, and she said, I'm ready to knit.
Problem was, she didn't exactly know how. So Hattie walked out and asked Shannon,
Could you teach me how to knit?
her neighbor.
I said, sure.
So Shannon went out that day for needles and yarn.
And we came out the next day and sat down and spent over 2 hours knitting.
And every day since, Hattie has pulled her patio chair up to her backyard fence.
She got me started again.
And Shannon gets to unravel a long unused skill.
Haven't knew anything in over 40 years, but I remember it now. You just don't forget. It's like riding a bicycle.
To me, the knit stitch is the easiest.
So here Hattie and Shannon sit,
What nights do you guys watch movies?
Fridays and the weekends.
separated by about 50 years,
It's a nice breeze today.
at least 6 feet, and 1 chain link fence.
You just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
And then once you're used to it, you're really good.
All because a little girl, unable to go to school, wanted to learn, of all things,
Yeah,
how to knit.
I know.
I'm tickled. She's talking about starting a knitting club.
As a teacher, Shannon doesn't consider herself top-notch.
Oops, got a couple of messed up. Oh well.
Then again, knit and purl stitches aren't all there is to learn in times of uncertain isolation.
That's the whole idea, is make it as big as you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes, slowing down is the quickest way to figure out how we're all tied together.
And it's time to get back to the basics and reality of we're supposed to be here for each other and help each other through this whole process of life.
And with Shannon's help,
And I'm so grateful.
Hattie will be working her way toward that sweater,
That's Hattie for you.
one needle twist at a time.
She's the best neighbor in the world.
Shannon says she was worried Hattie would lose interest in knitting after that first day when she had a little difficulty. Well, she hasn't. In fact, Hattie says she brings her knitting to bed each night because it helps her calm down before she goes to sleep.